Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Spurs Live. We are joined by my co-host Matt. How are you doing today, Matt? You right?
All good. Yeah, all
Good
good.
stuff. Good stuff. Happy to have you here on the show. Obviously, make sure to follow our socials down below. And if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, what you're doing? Go subscribe to the channel so you can get unlimited content. We're always posting, and drop us a follow on social media. All right, today is the match preview versus Man City, Tottenham versus Man City at the Etihad. That will be happening at Sunday at 4:30 UK time. Matt, what are your thoughts going to City? Obviously, Villa think it's a 3-point lane at Tottenham. This time round, it's at City's ground, so maybe a not 3-pointer. What is it? Are we going to win? Are we going to lose? What are your thoughts going to the game?
Oh, mate, the City fans have annoyed me,
Okay, go
right?
on.
Because they're all like, oh, 3-point lane, 3-point lane. Oh, yeah. Okay, well done. You got 3 points. But let's not forget that we've won 11 of our last 12 games at Villa Park.
Right, Villa
Like,
fans, yeah.
we've won 11 of our last 12 games at their home ground, right? And they've won one game, and now they're like, yeah. So, guys, seriously, calm down.
Chill out.
Like, we've won 11 of our last 12 games at your home ground, mate. Like, this is embarrassing. Step away. Look, my score prediction, I got a lot of stick for that. A lot of stick for that score prediction. Obviously, given the result, I regret it.
Yeah.
However, given the first half hour of that game, we could easily have been 3 or 4-0 up.
True.
Like, okay, we lost the game, which we did, but we absolutely dominated them. And I'm not gonna lie, if we didn't have a right back and left back in central defence and had Romero and Van de Ven, we're winning that game easily. Because the reality is, they're saying, oh, we outplay you, we're amazing. They were giving us a load of stick. We completely outplayed them.
But we won't be able to outplay Man City, though.
Well, you say that. Man City are our lucky team.
Yeah. Well, hang on, sorry, I've got to pause you there 1 second, though. 1 second. We actually do have a late comer here, someone who is extremely late to the show, and we're going to have to actually have an understanding why he was late. We want a full apology from this person. Josh. Hello, mate.
I'll apologise for absolutely nothing. I was injured.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I actually spent like 10 minutes just looking for a can opener so I could have tuna with my lunch, but I couldn't find it, and I was going to miss the recording, so I wasn't going to miss the recording for tuna. So
why didn't you just use a knife?
Yeah,
because metal, mate.
So you use a knife.
You can't just dig into a can with metal. I'm not a savage.
Yes, you can. You literally get a knife, jab it in, and then just jab it around and open it.
No, mate.
All right, well, sorry for cutting you there, Matt. But I had to end to Josh like this. Josh, you all right, though? You good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. I'm not looking forward to this weekend, but yeah, I'm okay.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry, Matt. So you were saying that? Do you think we can outplay Man City?
Look, I don't think we can outplay them.
Sure, Matt, not 4-0 this week, no?
Look, all right. I've seen the error of my ways. I've moved on from that. All right.
Yeah, I don't think Villa YouTube has, though. Jesus Christ.
Mate, I'm not going to lie. The first half hour of the game, I'm watching the first half hour of the game. I was like, oh my God, my prediction could be right.
Yeah, so I did think that, to be fair.
I was like, oh my God, so many chances. Kulusevski should have had one. Udogie should have had one. Hill should have had one. So many chances. I was like, oh my God. I was like, imagine if I'm right. Imagine the response I'm getting from people if like that I actually turn out to be. Obviously, we ended up losing 2-1, predictably. And at the end of the day, like the reality is, if we get Romero and Van der Ven back in the team, I genuinely think that we are easily a top 4 team.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of positives from that game as well. A lot of positives. I thought Lo Celso had his best game in a Tottenham shirt for a very long time. I love Kulusevski playing that role in the middle. Loved Kulusevski playing that role in the middle. I think it suits him down to the ground. And in all honesty, I'm looking at it and look, I like Bissouma, I like Sarr, but I'm thinking that when our team is fully fit, I'm actually thinking that we play a midfield of Maddison and Kulusevski with Bentancur behind them. And I reckon that will be our best midfield. We play Johnson on the right, Hill on the left, or vice versa. Maybe Johnson on the left, Hill on the right, Son through the middle. And then Romero and Van der Ven, I think that is a very, very good team when we're fit and not suspended. I do worry a lot about this City game. I was very high on painkillers last time. I made a very silly prediction, and for which I hold my hands up and apologise. The Villa fan who said that you need to get rid of me from the channel because I'm a disgrace.
Which one? About 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right. I apologise, guys. I'm sorry. Well done on your victory.
That's all you need. You Villa fans. At the end of the day, you got your victory. Move on. Go on. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to move on from the games. No, I mean,
absolutely.
It is what it is.
But no, I think the City game. I am concerned because again we're going to be very light defensively again, and with their attack and midfield, that's a concern for us. We're also not going to change the way we played football. I mean, we've had a lot of joy against Man City in recent times. Having said that, that joy has come from us playing counter-attacking football against them. And that's not Ange's style. Ange is going to go out to try and go toe-to-toe with City. I do think that we can get a couple of goals because City are so good going forwards that there are always opportunities to score against them. Yeah. There are always opportunities to score against them. So I'm probably being a little bit preemptive here, but I'll give you my score prediction now. I think it'll be 4-2 to City.
Well, okay, look, at the end of the day, you City fans have to get in the comment section down below to give your thoughts, or you Tottenham fans, give your thoughts on that score prediction. I'm going to go into more of that score prediction later on because I do have some questions about that. Josh, what are your thoughts coming to City? You know, like Matt said, it's a very good point what Matt said. Over the past couple of years, our main focus versus City was the counter-attack. I mean, you remember that fabulous goal that, Son to Kane out to Son and then Son to Kulu on Kulu's debut, scored that goal. What are your thoughts going to City? Are you nervous? Are you calm? You think we're going to win 4-0?
I'm just like, I'm actually a bit gutted because this could have been a game of the season contender. Like in an alternate universe, that 20 minutes against Chelsea doesn't happen. We've still got our strongest 11. I'd love to see our strongest 11 against City. I really would have. So I think we've actually been robbed of what would have been a really good, really competitive game of football. And instead, we're turning up with half the B team because they're gone as well. Like we've got nobody left. There's no point doing a prediction for the starting 11 because we've only got about 11.
Yep.
So I'm really gutted because I feel like this could have been the game of the season potentially if we'd have had our fully fit starting 11 and we'd have, continued as we started. But that's not the case. obviously now Bentancur is out for 2.5 months, which is just like I'm so gutted for him because he's worked so hard to be back so quickly and he
definitely
played
out?
so well.
Is he definitely out for 2.5 months? Because I've
Yeah.
seen conflicting reports.
No, it's minimum 2 to 2.5.
Well, it was an ankle injury, so I mean, he's got to look. The positive thing about this, I know there's not much positive, but the positive thing is that at least it wasn't his original leg that that the whole injury, because at least I think it was his left leg that got the injury just now. So at least it wasn't his right where he tore it. What was the first injury that he got? It wasn't an
It
ACL,
was
was it?
ACL. No, it was
ACL,
ACL.
yeah. So at least it wasn't his ACL leg, but yeah. So sorry, Josh. So what were you saying? So I mean, obviously not really a too hard to predict the lineup for
No, it's
City.
not. It's going to be a pretty easy lineup prediction. I think it's going to be exactly the same, barring Bentancur probably for Højbjerg.
Yeah.
Maybe Richarlison gets fit and he starts him on the left wing.
Hmm.
But other than that, I don't really see what else he can do. I feel for Ange because there's nothing he can do. Ashley Phillips out. Like he's not going to put Dorrington or Donnelly in. Like Sarr, I don't know if Sarr's still a doubt or not, but I don't even know if I feel comfortable starting Sarr if he's just come back from injury again with how light we already are. Like is Biss back? Yeah, Bissouma's back, isn't he?
Yeah, Bissouma's back. Yeah.
Okay, so Bissouma will play then. Okay, so Bissouma will play probably Bissouma and maybe Højbjerg. I think he might go a little bit more robust just because it's City.
I agree.
But
I think
I
he
don't
might
really.
play Kulu and Lo Celso again.
I don't think he'll play the Celso again. I think he'll
That
play
that
Kulu,
yeah.
but I don't think he'll play the Celso.
Look, it's a good thing, the fact that when all our players are fit, in terms of that midfield spot, I like it, the fact that now, Matt just brought up Lo Celso. It's a great talking point. We're going to talk about him in a second. You got Bentancur. I'm saying when everyone's fit, you got Bentancur, Lo Celso, Madders, chuck in their little decky. You got Bissouma, you got Skippy, you got Sarr. Different types of variety of players that can play in that midfield. Now, very quickly, I want to touch on that Lo Celso. Josh, I think we touched on it on the match reaction to the Tottenham versus Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Matt, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts for Lo Celso? I mean, I'm going to continue giving myself credit because I'm the one who said he needs to be playing in a central midfielder and not in an attacking midfielder. What were your thoughts seeing Lo Celso in that midfield role? In that can we say deep midfield role?
It's
No, it's
not
more
deep
hybrid
midfield,
box
is
to
it?
box.
Oh,
Yeah.
box to box, yeah. What were your thoughts seeing Lo Celso in versus Villa?
The reality is, I think we all said that we liked Lo Celso pre-season, and he looked useful. And then the limited minutes he has had this season, he's then looked awful.
Mm-hmm.
But
To say least, yeah.
he started against Villa, and mate, as I said earlier, it's the best game he's had in a Tottenham shirt for 5 months.
Yeah.
I thought he actually did very well. He was quite assured in possession. He was spraying passes quite nicely. Yeah, genuinely, it was. I thought it was a good performance, and I think he's worthy of playing again. And I look at it and think maybe we go Bissouma again. Like, I don't know if it's our best 11 to play against City. I don't like. I mean, we're such a skeleton team at the moment. It's difficult to decide what to do. But I look at Ange, and Ange has made it very, very clear on numerous occasions that regardless of the opposition, we are just going to play our football. And that's what he's always said. So I can see him starting Kulu and Lo Celso in the midfield again. I can see him doing it because
Yeah.
he's just like, we play our football. This is what we do.
Yeah. No, look, I think that's the good thing about Ange, is the fact that everyone he's put in, is actually played well in a way, in terms of they're playing Ange football. Like, I don't remember. There's not too many times where we played really, really bad and we haven't played Ange football. When we lose in playing Ange football, and I'm enjoying Postecoglou, because I think he's, no matter what players he puts in that starting 11, they do the job.
Yeah,
Ish. I'm saying ish does the job. You look at Højbjerg, for example. I wasn't the biggest fan of him. He came in. He's slotting that CDM role as a substitution perfectly. And there are a couple of players individual who, in my opinion, aren't good enough. I'm
yeah.
not naming names anymore, but yeah.
I think we lost to Villa playing Ange football, and on
Yeah.
a different day, we could have had 4 or 5 goals. On a
Yeah.
different day,
It's
it
not
could
the
have been.
first time we've said that, though, is it? Against Luton, we scraped by 1-0, but we should have been 3-4 up inside 10 minutes in that game as well. Like, we're not
Yeah,
putting teams to the sword
I
enough,
think
quick enough.
that is the
So-
problem. Like, under Ange, we tend to start very quickly.
It's the complete opposite of Conte, isn't it? We start on fire.
Yeah, like we've previously, well, especially Conte, where, like I said, I stopped watching the first half of games because it was horrendous, it was pointless, and we only came alive in the second half. And we started so slowly, and it was just, it was awful. But now we are starting on the front foot. Every single game, we're up for it, we're out, we're on the front foot. But the problem is we're making a lot of early chances in games. And I'm not going to lie, Wolves, Villa, Luton, every single one of those games, we should have been 2 or 3-0 up after 20 minutes. And if we had put those chances away and been 2 or 3-0 up after 20 minutes, turns into a different game. But unfortunately, we are not being clinical enough. We're not taking these chances. Like Kulu should have scored when he hit the post.
Yeah.
Udogie should have at least hit the target instead of skying it when he was through. And it's difficult.
Yeah. But that's exactly the thing versus City now. Versus City, if we start strong, we create chances. We need to score every single chance. I mean, you can't play Ange football, take the risk. I mentioned that with Josh on the match reaction. You can't play Ange football and not do the final thing, which is score the goals. Ange football is all based on score more than you concede. Now, Josh, how do we beat City? Because player by player, we're not better than City. We're not better than City. We need to. If you were Ange, how would you play? What's the tactics versus City?
Mate, the thing I'm worried about the most is defensively. I think the defensive awareness. If he's going to play the 4 fullbacks again, one, the height's going to be lacking. It's Haaland. Haaland will absolutely dominate Davies and Emerson Royale if he plays, because they couldn't even pick it. Ollie Watkins is a great striker. They couldn't get near him. Emerson and Davies had no clue at any point where Watkins was. They switched off, and it happened for the second goal. And it wasn't the first time. He scored the header as well, which they got lucky with offside. Haaland will do that, and he will punish us over and over and over again. And it's the same thing with Porro's lack of defensive awareness and Udogie going forward and not getting back enough. If that happens against City, you're dead, because Foden and Doku will kill you on the wings.
Like Porro versus Doku.
This City team is different to the one from the last couple of years. Really, it's a very different style. It's a bit more traditional, I guess, in the sense if you get what I mean in terms of how they play on the wing and how they use their striker. It's a completely different system that we're going up against than it was in previous years, where Mahrez and Grealish are just going to invert and they're just going to play around and around and around and around and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until a chance comes up. It's going to be completely different for us this time from a tactical perspective.
City are a lot more direct than they have been in previous years. A lot more direct. Doku's going to give Porro the runaround. Haaland is going to absolutely terrorize Davies and Emerson.
And we can't change it either. Phillips is out. I think Dyer is out as well, or he just doesn't want to play him, which I completely understand. Like, this is the thing. We've come up against City, and we usually got the weaker 11, pretty much always, but we managed to beat them. But this is a different grade. Like, we have no centre backs on the pitch. How often does that happen to a top 4 club? Which we were before we got the injuries. We've got no centre backs at all to field.
All I'm gonna say is I feel like the key to the game, in my opinion, is score more goals than you concede. That's basically the tactic.
All right,
I don't
Michael
think,
Owen.
huh?
Great insight. Great insight from you
You like
there.
that? You like that? You like that? Pure. No, because look, if we actually look at all the aspects of the game, win every single aerial duel, impossible. Pressure City as much as possible, impossible, because they're just gonna get out. You know, park the bus. At the end of the day, it's not Ange football. You get me? Like, there's no actual tactics that we can actually do to beat City. The only one we can do is basically score more goals than you concede, and I think that's the only way we can win. But because obviously the viewers, as you guys know, you guys like to keep it short and simple. Let's get straight into the score prediction. Matt. I know you said 4-2. Give us a reason why you're saying 4-2, or are you slightly changing it to 4-0 Tottenham?
No,
Maybe convinced you a little bit there.
Okay, so my prediction 5-0 to Tottenham. No. I'm sticking with that 4-2 because I think you're absolutely right. Angeball is score more goals than them. And I honestly reckon we can get a couple of goals. I reckon we can get 2 goals against them. But I just think with our defensive frailties at the moment, they are going to be too much for us with Doku, with Foden, with Haaland. Just the team. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. They've got De Bruyne out at the moment and they're still slicing through teams. I just think they're going to be too much for us. And I think as much as we want to outscore them, they will outscore us. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I reckon we can get a couple of goals, but I reckon it's going to be 4-2. And I would not be surprised if we get 2 early goals and go 2-0 up. I would not be surprised if we get 2 early goals, go 2-0 up, and then concede 4. 1 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Would not be surprised if that's the way it goes.
Fair enough. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather lose 4-2 than lose 5-0. No, I'll be honest, like, at the end of the day. Josh.
And with that prediction, I'm hoping the Villa fans go a bit easy on me.
Hopefully, the Tottenham fans kind of like agree with you, because we can't agree on the fact that we're gonna win, because I don't think we're gonna win. But Josh, what's your score prediction for City versus Tottenham?
I'm really worried. I just don't want to be embarrassed. Like, I just want a performance that, like, it happens and everyone goes, oh, see, looks about right. Like, nothing to go on about for too long. Do you know what I mean? I'd love a 3. Like, even if we lost 3-1, like, because City do have a mistake in them, but they are pretty elite defensively. And the general, John Stones, is back. Okay, probably the best centre back in the league when he's fit. I think he's truly elite.
Yeah.
Truly elite. William Saliba probably runs him close, but I think he's the best. I'd say we probably have got a goal in us. Sonny's pretty clinical most of the time when he gets some sort of service.
He wasn't against Villa.
Well. He didn't really get that many chances, to be fair. He had a couple half ones, and he did finish the one-on-one that he got. If he wasn't off, do you know what? If he wasn't offside, he'd have had the most clinical performance in Premier League history. He'd have had the easiest hat-trick ever. But if he learns the offside rule, we've got a chance.
Yeah, Villa play a high line, and unfortunately, Sonny just wasn't at the races. Yeah. He kept drifting, always offside, 3 disallowed goals.
But we talk about we're down to bare bones, but then you look at City and it's Haaland, it's Alvarez, it's Doku, it's Grealish, it's Foden, it's Bernardo Silva. It's like there's an endless list of ways that they can just absolutely kill you in an instant. But I'm hoping that I don't think Ange is stupid though. He's not gonna try and go toe to toe completely with City. He's not an idiot.
I think he will. I honestly think he will.
I think so. Especially not away. Are we away from home?
Yeah, we're away.
Yeah, I do think we'll still play his football, but I don't think he's an idiot. That's why I think he'll go Højbjerg. I don't think he'll go with 2 attacking-minded midfielders. And if he does, we're finished because Rodri will slice us open so easily.
Unless,
I'm going to go 3-1 City, being conservative.
We win 5-0.
It could get bad though. Honestly, lads, I have a horrible feeling like I had against Newcastle last season when we conceded, 5 and 20. I have a horrible feeling that if we concede early, this could get nasty.
Look, I think the only way for us to actually somewhat keep some balance in the team is if we have Højbjerg in the team. I can't see us starting 2 central midfielders plus an attacking midfielder because that's just too attacking. In my opinion, I'm gonna go with I'm not confident at all for the game. I hate to see the fact that you got the likes of Doku running at Poro defensively. We all know what Poro's like, and Doku, running at him, speed of unbelievable player. I think we're going to lose 4-1. I'm not confident at all for the game.
No.
I think at the end of the day, Ange has to play his game. Pep will play his game.
We can't
The
look
winner will
into
be
this
signing
game,
more
lads.
goals.
Like, you can't look into this game with too much like intensity because what are we supposed to do? Like, we're lambs to slaughter in this game because of our injuries and suspensions. There's nothing we can do. Like, I hope the players don't feel that way, obviously, but as a fan, you look at it and you go, I feel so bad for Ange. He's been dealt the worst hand of any
Really
manager
has
this
been. It
season.
really has been. I mean, Harry Kane leaving the club. Imagine, I'm just saying, like we said, Josh, Harry Kane at the club, we would be win after win after win after win this season. We wouldn't be beaten this season if
Mate,
Harry
I
Kane was at our
just
club.
said, like, there's no other manager in the league that has to solve about 4 or 5 problems before the ball's even been kicked. And he has to do it every single game. And knowing us, there'll be something else that happens between now and Sunday. But there
And
will.
remember this, and remember, Bissouma's also going to AFCON, which is when's AFCON? AFCON soon, no?
This
Pretty
is
sure.
January. And
January,
Sar's going as well.
and Sar's going. So, look, yeah, Matt. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No,
No?
I think there will be 6 goals in the game.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, I don't know whether that's going to be 6-0 to City or 4-2 to City or 3-all. I don't know, but I reckon it's going to be a high-scoring game. I reckon there's going to be 6 goals, and hopefully it's 6-0 to Tottenham. But
we never failed to disappoint in from an entertainment perspective, so
Yeah,
we'll be entertaining.
yeah, that's one thing I can say. I've never been bored watching a game. Other than that, maybe that Wolves one, but I haven't been bored watching a game that we've played in.
Like, in all honesty, like you talked about losing in a manner playing Ange ball. I thought Villa, we played really well. We dominated them.
We deserved to win, really, but
unfortunately, we lost a game that we deserved to win. But that's how it goes. Defensively, we're not good enough, and they took their chances. Fair play to them. Wolves, on the other hand, Wolves was the one game I've watched where I thought we lost not playing Ange ball. We were not at the races. The second half, we were just so slow and
woeful.
Horrible.
Genuinely woeful.
That game, we deserved to lose because we just were not good enough. And it was 2 late goals. You can say we're unlucky, but
it was coming.
We deserved to concede those goals because we just were not good enough. So again, I think we probably will lose to City. But as long as we lose playing our attractive, progressive football, then is what it is. And then we can.
That's the thing we've all been saying. Like, as long as we lose playing Ange football, we're good. Like, we're good because imagine next season without January transfers, without summer transfers, we could be looking like a
we just
solid
keep forgetting we're right at the beginning of the project. It's rival fans that have created this narrative, and the media as well, that have created this narrative that we're way further down the line than we should be and we're ahead of schedule. No, we're still right at the beginning of Ange's project.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Look at Arsenal when Arteta started.
Yeah. He's been there for, what, 4 years? Is this his 5th season?
Yeah.
5th season now, yeah.
Yeah. Like, the reality is, look at Arsenal when Arteta started, and then he hit his stride last season. They're pushing on this season to try and compete. And they're in a much better place. I'm not going to lie. If we stick with Ange and build our squad over the next 2 or 3 years, I think this season it would be great to get I think realistically, I'm going to be realistic. Angie's first season, I'd probably be happy with the top 5. And
We just need to be back in
Yeah,
Europe.
same.
I think we just need to
Yeah,
be back in Europe. Is the key aim.
exactly. Back in Europe, and that should be the aim. At the end of the day, it's a win for Andrew and Tottenham, and it's a win for Daniel Levy. You know, more money and more money into the club. But guys, anyone have anything else to be added on? Obviously, you all subscribe to the channel. Obviously, you know, we are full of confidence going into City, as you can tell. Josh's face is full of confidence. Matt, oh my days, look at him. He's getting ready for the City game. Um, we're all ready for the City game. We're all ready to beat City now. But seriously though, yeah. Anyone else have any last words?
Oh,
come on,
Well,
you.
not everyone, please, guys. Not
please
everyone.
don't
Like,
embarrass. Just lads,
yeah,
just please don't embarrass us. Please, just keep it respectable. Right? Do you know what? We're saying all this. We back the team. Me and Matt, like we back the team under any circumstances. It's just tough. Like I said, it's gutting knowing that we're going into this game massive underdogs and odds-on
yeah,
favourites to lose when with our best 11 we shouldn't be. We should be like obviously still probably not on City's level, but it would have been a great game. And that's what I'm annoyed about.
With
We've been
our
robbed of
best
a great
11,
game.
with our best 11, so with Romero, Van de Ven, Bentancur, and Madison, right, which is the spine of the team. With those 4 players, suddenly this becomes a really interesting game. And yeah, we may well still lose, but I see it being like 3-2 to City. And I think we give them a really good game of football and it'd be really enjoyable. But instead, we're going into the game with missing loads of key players, struggling. We've lost our last 3 games in the league. We're like, as you said, Josh, just keep it respectable, please.
Yeah, like it's a shame. There should be so much to talk about in this fixture, but we've just been crippled, completely and
yeah.
utterly crippled.
Yeah.
All because of the scums, Chelsea. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, co-host Josh, co-host Matt. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a like on the video and comment down below your score prediction because we want to know who's got ball knowledge and who doesn't. And obviously, our score predictions will be on the Instagram page. Seeing all your comments down below, seeing who agrees, who disagrees. But yeah, guys, have a good day. Yeah, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.